I was once accidentally poisoning myself with treated wood inside the SUV that I used to live out of instead of traditional housing. Now I have my van life home. Regardless of what type of roadside resident you are, I hope this video is helpful and insightful regarding the seeming dangers of treated wood in closed spaces. Hi passengers, I'm the roadside resident. I was recently reviewing footage from when I lived out of my SUV, and I found the footage of me talking about how I was accidentally poisoning myself. I forgot that I hadn't uploaded this, so now I realized this was a great opportunity to share my experience. I tried to make an impromptu shelf out of some wood from one of those home fix-up stores. It turns out that the wood has chemicals on it that they put to prevent the bugs from eating it, so I was in this back unventilated space with chemical wood, and it made me very sick, so lesson learned, don't put wood in unventilated space that you're sleeping next to in a closed space. I'd previously had plastic shelves, and I replaced them with the wood. I made myself a small impromptu shelf. I'm not a handyman type. With that in mind, I went to a hardware store, bought some wood. Now, if I went to that same store and bought a tool that I was not familiar with, there would be accompanying paperwork instructing me how to use the tool properly. Not realizing how dangerous the wood apparently was, as mentioned, I made myself an impromptu shelf, and I didn't put it together with nails or glue. I was simply able to position the wood in a way that didn't fall, and I remember it creating a surface I was able to place things on top of, and I stored clothing in it. I got sicker and sicker and sicker. One time I was visiting San Francisco and I had to go to the hospital. None of the medical professionals could seem to really figure out what was wrong. I got to my hometown in the UPVOTE region of Northern California. I set up a doctor appointment. I got a referral to an ear, nose, throat specialist. He stuck the balloon up my nose and did all that unpleasant stuff. He concluded I had a polyp on my vocal cord, and he performed surgery on me. Apparently, nothing of concern was found. As I got sicker, I was experiencing tremendous problems with my throat. My throat was increasingly becoming agitated, and it got so bad that my throat was feeling like it was closing up at times. I was feeling a lot of pinching. Weird things would seem to trigger the throat irritation, pinching, and sometimes closing. At the time, I was doing a lot of weight loss walks, and if I would walk by a freshly mowed lawn, I'd get that weird choking sensation. I'm not sure if it was the freshly cut grass or if it was the gasoline from a lawnmower having recently been around. But my throat was just acting bizarre and weird. None of the medical professionals could really seem to figure out exactly what was going on. One day, I set aside time to mentally go through my mind all recent months and try to figure out what changes had happened in my life that might be causing the throat problems. I was thinking about people that I met and places that I had gone, things I had done. What was causing this throat problem? As I chronologically went through the time, finally the light bulb went off in my head, and I realized the only substantial difference in my life had been adding the shelf to the SUV. Once I realized this, I took apart as fast as I could the impromptu wood shelf. I got it out of there, and I went to the ocean, and I rolled all my windows down, and I drove around the ocean to get as much ocean breeze and wind and circulation in the SUV as I possibly could to try to get all that out of there. I washed all of my laundry and did everything I could to decontaminate the SUV. Now, at the time, I didn't even understand what treated wood was or how that could possibly be making me sick. I just realized at that time that was the only difference in my life. So then I got online and I did research. I found out about the seeming risk of treated wood. Website today'shomeowner.com relays the pesticide that is most commonly used for pressure treating is known as chromated copper arsenate, CAA, a compound that contains arsenic, rat poison. An EPA post states wood preservative products are intended to stop destruction from insects and decay. Treated wood is most commonly used outdoors. After getting the wood out of my SUV, within a relatively short period of time, I started feeling better. That seemed to fix the problem. As a roadside resident, I very much worry about the types of things that I put inside the van. When I got solar, I emphasized to the installer, make sure the battery is not poisoning me. Make sure none of the parts are poisoning me. I do now have a plastic shelf in this van, and I'm sure there's a conversation to be had about being around plastics in small, confined spaces. The floor of the inside of my van scuffs easily, and I also worry about the paint debris that may linger around, might possibly be inhaled. I don't know for sure, but perhaps that is a risk too. Look at all those little debris particles. This was from a cleaner cloth type mop thing, and see all those little white particle? Seems to be all the chip paint. I worry about breathing in that stuff. Anytime I see chip paint in the SUV, I do my best to get it out and cleaned up. I've seen websites and videos online of roadside residents who remodel the inside of their vans or other vehicle dwellings, and some of them seem to put chemicals. I'm absolutely not a fan of that myself. For every chemical, there seems to be a natural alternative option. However, remodeling the inside of my van with elegant shelves and walls is not important to me. I don't see myself doing it anytime soon, if ever. However, if I ever did, I would certainly research how to use the most natural products to ensure I'm not poisoning myself in this small space, like I was doing back when I lived in the SUV. At roadsideresident.com, I invite you to sign up for my email list. Here on this channel, remember to click subscribe or follow to ensure you get to see the future videos. I hope you'll share your reaction to this video in the comment section. I always do my best to reply. Please share this video link on your social media. I'm an independent crew with no budget for advertising. You sharing the video helps other people discover this channel, and I appreciate that. I'm the Roadside Resident. Thank you for riding along.